Let's start in Crocodile Pose today. So you're going to lie down on your belly, bend your right knee and slide it up so it's straight out from your hip. Rest your left cheek on the floor and shape your arms like the top of a goalpost. Start to deepen your breath as you lie here. This is our time to focus on what we're about to do. So check in with your body, see what's going on today. Acknowledge it and accept it for whatever it is, whatever it's got for you today. Start to deepen that breath. Practice the Ujjayi breath. And then switch sides. So the right leg is straight, the left leg is bent, and we're resting the right side of the face on the floor. We're going to stay curious on the mat today, asking what if, what happens if I try this? That still doesn't mean you have to do anything you don't feel ready to do. But approach each pose, each transition with that open mind, that curiosity that keeps us learning and growing. We'll straighten both legs out now, side by side. Looking down toward the floor, we'll bring the arms wide and the fingertips on the floor and lift the chest up into a little cobra, a wide-armed cobra. Then lower yourself back down. We'll bring the hands under the shoulders. And as we lift the right leg, we'll lift the chest and then turn the head slightly to the right. Lower down, lift the left leg, lift the chest, and turn the head slightly to the left. Good, we'll keep going, alternating each time, and just looking over that shoulder a little bit. It's okay if you don't see your leg back there. Just turning your head gently as far as it's comfortable. Couple more. Not really using the hands here. The hands are just resting there on the floor. It's your back doing that lifting. Good, back to center. We'll slide the arms now out in front of us and lift arms and legs up one time here. Lift strong, reaching forward and back, feeling that heat and that strength develop all through your back body. Good, rest the legs down, curl the toes under. Bring the hands under the shoulders and press up through a plank and to a downward dog. Fingers spread wide. Bend your knees if you need to. It's the first one. I know we need to work into it a little bit sometimes. Heart moving toward the knees. Strong upside down V. And step forward big as you inhale into a high lunge. From there, opening up to the right, lifting the right arm up. The left hand stays connected to the floor or to a block if you have one handy. Good, let that right hand float back down. Keep that right knee bent as you step forward with the left foot and settle into a chair. Good, keep your hands reaching for the floor if you can, and then stretch them all the way up so your biceps are by your ears. Keep sitting down low and back. Breathing as you go. We'll bring the hands back to the floor. Let the hips lift to a forward fold. And then we'll bend the knees again, drop the hips back down, bring the palms together over the heart, and then twist, bringing the left arm to the right leg. Opening up to that right side, breathing as you go, double checking your knees that they are staying lined up. It's like your knees are pressed against a wall and you want them both up against that wall. Good, look down. And then shift your weight to your right foot. See if you can balance there on that right foot. Whoops, it's okay to lose it. And then step back with the left foot, coming into the twisted high lunge. What happens if you draw your right hip back a little bit, press your left hip forward? Good, let's bring it back to center. Palms over the heart, strong high lunge, and then step forward right into chair, staying low. Inhale, reach the arms up high as you stand, and exhale, dive forward, forward fold. What happens if you set an intention of reaching a little bit deeper? Good, let's step the left foot back and then the right, coming into a plank. And then go ahead and take your feet wide. Now this isn't easy, but stay curious. What happens? Can your body do it? So your feet are wide, your hands are gonna move in narrow, so they're side by side. We're still in a strong plank, and then you're just gonna lift that left hand up, trying not to lift the left shoulder with it. The rest of your body doesn't change. The left hand just floats up off the ground. Good, bring it back down. And then take your hands wide again. Walk your feet back together. And come to a downward dog. Good, let's step forward now with the left foot. Coming to that high lunge, keeping the hips low, the heart low, hands on the floor if you can reach. Right hand stays as the left hand floats up. What happens when the left hip draws back and the right hip draws forward? What changes? How would that feel? Good, let's bring the left hand back down. Keeping the left knee bent as you step forward with the right, settling right into that chair pose. Sitting low, reaching the arms out in front or up by the ears. Breathing as you go, trusting the strength in your legs. And what happens if you sit a little deeper? Good, bring the hands to the floor, lift the hips, relax. Let your head go, shoulders go, nice deep stretch. And then sit low again. Keep the hands on the floor if you want for a second, and then bring the palms together over the heart, twisting to the left. The right elbow coming down to the left leg. The knees staying side by side. What happens if you lengthen your spine a little more? Good, now let's shift our weight to the left foot. See if we can lift the right one off the ground. Hold it for a second and then step back to the twisted high lunge. Palms back over the heart, looking forward, stepping forward right into a nice chair. Hips are down and back, and then inhale, stand tall, reach up. And exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Step back with the right foot, then the left, settling into plank. And then asking, what happens? What happens if I lift one arm? We'll take the feet wider, the hands narrower. Keep the shoulders level. Tune into the shoulders and the hips. Nothing else changes. The only thing that changes is that right arm lifts up. Keep breathing. It's okay to fall. It's okay if you get a little wobbly. We're just trying it out. Good. Feet back together, hands apart, and slide to your down dog. From there, we'll walk our feet, or our hands, toward our feet as we take our feet a little wider, pointing the toes out to the corners and settling right down into that yoga squat. So this is a good place to use a block under your seat. If you'd like to sit on a block, it's a little more comfortable, a little less intense. Otherwise, palms are pressing together, elbows inside the leg there. Breathing. And we're going to move into this crane pose, the arm balance. So if you've never done it before, don't feel like you have to rush into it. We're just being curious about it. We're going to see what happens if. So the fingers are spread wide, about as wide as your shoulders, hands placed on the floor. And then you're bringing your knees up on your triceps as high as you can. If you can get them up into your armpits, do it. I can't usually. From there, you're just letting your weight slowly shift into your hands. So you're not pushing off. That's going to get you toppling forward, which is okay. It's bound to happen sometimes. But the slower you can make that transition, the easier it is. Play with it another second if you want, and then meet me again in the squat with the feet pointed out to the sides. Nice deep breaths. We'll place the hands back down on the floor and walk them forward as we walk the feet back together, coming all the way down into that plank. And then exhaling as we chaturanga. And inhale, press right back up. Exhale, chaturanga, the tricep push-up. Inhale, press right back up. Keep those elbows in by your side. Again, let the elbows hug the rib cage. And on this third one, go ahead and slide through to upward dog. Then return to downward dog. Back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, this time all the way down onto your belly. Good. Nice deep breaths. We'll bring the hands right under the shoulders, resting the chin or the forehead on the floor as it's comfortable. And then we're going to lift one leg, keeping the hip connected to the floor, and lower down slowly. Other side. Lift just as high as it's comfortable, keeping that leg straight and strong. Lower down. You can keep doing it just like that, or you can stretch your arms overhead, lift your shoulders, your head up a little bit, and lift the right arm and the left leg, or vice versa. Left arm, right leg, right arm, left leg. Good, so we're lifting on the inhale, lowering as we exhale. Imagining your body very long. So you're not just reaching the limbs up, you're reaching them out toward those walls in front of you and behind you. Good, couple more, keep breathing. And then let your head rest down. Bring your hands back under your shoulders, curl those toes under, get the hips lifting off the ground to push up through that tricep, push up through plank, and downward dog. Let's lower the knees down now and come to rest in a child's pose, your favorite version, go for that. Or maybe get curious and say, what does an extended child's pose feel like? What happens if I move my knees a little closer together or a little further apart? Our bodies are different every day, and so each version of each pose is going to feel different every day. Good, let's roll it up to sitting on our heels. And then we'll bring the legs around in front of us. Let's cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Bring the palms behind you on the floor with the fingers pointed forward if that's comfortable for you. The right toes on the floor pointed directly forward, and we'll lift up to a three-leg table. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. That right knee ends up right on top of the right ankle. The hips are lifting equally. Good. And on the next one, here we go back up. Go ahead and hold it. From there, if you want, see if you can extend that left leg straight out away from your shoulder, pressing the heel toward the wall in front of you, and then cross it over the right leg again. Sit back down. And then just switch your palms so your fingers are pointed back so it's a little more comfortable. And sit up nice and tall, just really deepening that stretch through the hip. Good, stretch the right leg out. Bring the left foot beside your right leg, knee falling open to the side. Inhale the arms up tall and exhale, fold forward over your right leg. Reach equally with both hands. Doesn't matter what you reach for. It might be your calf, it might be your ankle, it might be your foot. Whatever's there, just go that far. Breathing here. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, let the hands float down. And we'll switch sides, crossing the right ankle over the left leg. Hands behind us, fingers pointed forward. Left toes pointed forward, left foot strong on the floor, planted firmly. As we inhale, lift the hips equally. Double check that right hip, that it's not dragging behind your left. Keep it pressing up in line with your left hip. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Just lifting as high as you can. Maybe today that's a couple inches. Who cares? Go for it. Whatever you've got, use it. Good. Bring it up and hold it on the next one. And then if you want, extend that right leg away from your face. Just briefly, and then cross it over again. We'll sit back down. Turn your hands around. It's a little more comfortable. And then sit up as tall as you can, stretching that right hip. Using each breath to stretch more deeply. Stretch the left leg out now, the right foot beside the left knee, the right knee falling open to the side. Inhale, both arms up, and exhale, reach for that straight leg. Reach forward and up as you inhale. Sit up nice and tall, and then exhale the arms down. We'll bring the legs side by side now. Inhale, reach the arms up into staff pose, and then roll yourself down to the mat, trying to place one vertebra at a time, controlling that movement all the way down. Reach your arms overhead, your legs out. Just make your body feel really long. Bring a little bit of tension into every muscle before we settle into Shavasana. Taking the legs apart, the arms wide, the palms facing up. Relaxing the shoulders and staying curious about what this rest feels like now. What are our bodies doing now? How are they recovering? How do they feel? No judgment, just observation, recovery and rejuvenation. The next couple of minutes entirely to yourself. Let's wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes. Welcome that movement back into your body. And ask yourself, what is the least amount of effort required to roll to the right and sit back up? Sit comfortably, sit tall, and close your eyes for just another couple of minutes. Asking, what happens if I turn right instead of left at the light? What happens if I give up sugar for a week? What happens if I don't react to my child's tantrum? What happens if I smile more? What happens if I do yoga every day? Thank you for being here. Namaste. And stay curious.